This is Story. Story is a new miniature podcast type of thing where I'm going to go into detail about where some of the projects I do come from, whether it's a song or an album or something bigger than that. I often find sometimes that when I'm performing live, I have these very short snippets that all songwriters use or performers use to kind of give people a synopsis in the quickest version possible. But I thought what would be interesting as a new project would just be to kind of go in more detail about some of the stories behind where these things come from. So that's what Story is. And since I have a new album coming out in about 2 months or less, a month and a half, I thought I would start with the story of family. I mean, over the years, I've produced so many albums independently, and the way that I've approached it in the past was just writing songs for a couple of months, and whatever I wrote in that time period that was kind of the best, compile that into an album and sort of find the theme that way, and whatever kind of bound them together over a short period of time. But in collaborating with other people and challenging myself to have new ideas, I wanted to look deeper into my catalog and pick out some of the strongest songs from over the years and try to put an album together that way. I was playing at the Martha Bassett show and ran into Doug Williams, and we got to talking. He'd been a supporter of mine, and he's been a cool guy in town. So we got to talking about his studio, and I wanted to go check it out. So I went out there to Electromagnetic Radiation Recordings in Winston-Salem. Kind of an iconic place to me. It's where the Avett Brothers and the Wood Brothers have recorded stuff there. Some of my favorite Avett Brothers albums came from there. So it was kind of a special thing for me to be able to go there and try to access what I envisioned there in that space. And I laid down a bunch of just really raw acoustic stuff, songs from over many years, and I just sat with them for a while and tried to figure out what was the thread, what was going to unify them into a really cohesive, beautiful album. I started to get more clear about, I think, what the vision would be after I left Winston and moved to Rhode Island. And I was up here, and I think just missing home and identifying the things that I felt separated from. This sense started to come to mind that really part of what was so unifying about some of these songs was that they were about family members. I culled it down to the primary 8 that I thought made up the strongest piece of what I thought matched that word, family. I think being in a new place and being far away from my family helped me feel closer to that feeling, helped me identify family as a thing that's absent from my life, the life that I'm living right now. And I think that clarity brought it into focus a little bit and made it possible for me to make space for that theme in the music and to explore that in a more appreciative and beautiful way. Family was a very important thing to me growing up, and the relationships that were there and the support systems that were there. The loss of family members often, I guess, is the first insight a kid has into loss and into mortality and how short life actually is. And that was definitely an impactful thing in my life, was losing family members. And over more recent years, I've lost other family members that are kind of honored on this album. And since I've been here, I've lost family members. And family is that thing that anchors you to a place and to a, you know, when it comes down to, I don't know, the things that were attached to the furniture and the heirlooms and the houses, the land, the material possessions, it's often because we associate that with family members. We associate that with people and with memories we have and with our inability to let go. And I guess in moving away from home and moving away from family, I think I found a new way of feeling attached to all that. And Yeah, so I thought that I thought it would be a worthwhile investment to explore my new sense of family through this album, and to give that as much respect and as much celebration as I could through these songs.